Hello, y'all. Feel like I haven't made a video in a while, but been busy. Started a new job. Um, I'm about a month and a half in on that, um, and things are going well. I was working too much at first, and it was really taking a toll on me. But I think I'm like after well, really is like starting this week. Like my hours should be more manageable, and I should like have time to like cook food and eat it, and like bathe regularly and shit like that I need to be doing. Um, so I've had like the first full day of rest in probably a little over a month. Um, I need that really badly, and like uh tomorrow I think I got a couple dog walks, and then I'm free the rest of the day. I'm gonna be over at the farm. uh I wasn't able to do a lot of the winterizing stuff that I had wanted to do. Not like winterizing, but like stuff that I want to take care of during the winter, um because we mostly had snow on the ground in January, February. It doesn't always happen here, but it did this year. But anyway, like I've been really grateful today. I have just been like, and I haven't needed to pursue that feeling or pursue that thought process. It's been more just like when I kind of clear my head and come back to myself. Um, that's like more and more often, like that's what's waiting for me, and the response that I feel when I clear my head and come back to myself. Um, I've been just finding like it's like I found a wellspring, and it's really faint. It's not very big or strong. It's a little intermittent, but it's like I found a wellspring of when I when I tune back in to myself. Um, then I just end up taking a step back and just I don't know, like this is like hard for me to talk about because like it's really foreign to me. But like I have felt so in love with myself. Um I've done so much trauma healing over the last couple years, and I've gone through so much the last couple years. And I'm so appreciative of everywhere that my life has taken me, and the experiences that I've had, good or bad, the ways that I've been able to build trust with myself. And just the ability to, the fact that it's just kind of automatically happening when I take a breath and, you know, choose to be in tune with myself and choose to come back to that more often, for longer at a time, you know? Just the amount of tenderness that I've felt as a response. And just being able to step back and look at everything around me and realize like I am safe and protected. I'm comfortable. My needs are met. You know? And I'm losing my need to prove myself in a lot of the, I think more like the shallow, egotistical ways that we tend to feel the need to prove ourselves or defend ourselves or explain. And I'm starting to, I feel like I'm doing a better job at just showing up as me. And if I do that, then there's never anything to prove, because I'm going to be, when it's appropriate, I'm going to be really honest about the trauma that I'm coming from. When it's appropriate, my intelligence is going to show, or how much of a country boy I am is going to show, or how fucking queer I am is going to show, how fucking clueless I am in social situations is going to show, how deeply fucking nerdy I am about everything that I care about is going to show. But I feel like I'm still finding how to walk that walk. As far as just kind of trusting that process, like being aware of where I am and what I'm doing. And for context, if you need it, like, I was like deeply like depressive and dissociated for a lot of my life. So the last, probably around 9 years now. Fuck, man. 9? Yeah, probably shit. But it was like when I was 28. I think I was 27 when I first like started going sober and like intentionally like quit drinking and like was sober for like 2.5 years. I believe I started that process when I was 27, and but when I was like 28 or 29, that's when like I was sober. I was doing a lot of meditation, because for a while there, like I would have like a short meditation during the day sometimes, but then I was like listening to longer meditations at night to help me get to sleep, because just a big point of my drinking when I was younger was in order to help me sleep. And honestly, my insomnia has been better lately. But I've had insomnia since I was a kid. I'm autistic. There's a lot of sleep disturbances and like just different things about your sleep that's affected, just because like it's a neurological situation. But yeah, I realized around like 8 or 9 years ago, I started understanding how dissociated I was, and how just like not in my body that I was. And I'm still learning to I've gotten pretty good about, unless I'm really stressed or distracted, I've gotten pretty good about always being in my body, like intentionally and consciously, to some extent. But there's still something that I have struggled with a lot. Not really struggled with, it's just like something that has been very thematic for me, and that has been something that I notice a lot as I've been like really heavily working on my trauma healing the last couple years. I need some lotion. My hands are dry as fuck. Something that I do, and a big part of my dissociation, and a big part of like being present when I'm like centered, is just like, it's the sense of pulling back, the sense of like just retracting yourself. And I think that's a lot of different things. I think it's coming from a lot of different places and times. I think it's a lot of different coping mechanisms and responses to stimuli, responses to stress. But I'm still working on like calisthenics has been so helpful for me the last couple of years, because it's one of those things like you're reaching through all parts of your body depending on what you're doing, you know, and like you can just feel really awake and in tune with your body, and that's good. As my dude over at Fitness FAQs has been a huge source of guidance for me. Daniel, something that he says that really fucking stuck with me was, your muscles are the brakes. Man, I heard that line when I was in the middle of like a lot of intense life situations and a lot of intense trauma healing, and I heard him say, your muscles are the brakes. And I was like, fuck. But anyway, that's kind of where I am now. And then I wanted to make a video because I was scrolling on YouTube, and one of the people that I follow who posts really good like actual posts and videos about trauma healing, and specifically the kind of PTSD, CPTSD that comes from just like really unstable home situations growing up, family abuse, just fucked up family dynamics, and how that affects us socially as adults. I was reading something that he had posted, and it made me remember something about my timeline, and I was able to kind of revisit that time and place with like an intentional sense of space, and like wanting to be present to a 12-year-old me, because I had said in a comment to that post that you know, I started actively doing a lot of self-harm when I was 12, and not all of it was very well hid, and I had made a comment saying that, and saying that, you know, my mom eventually asked me about it, and I gave such a bullshit lie in response, because I didn't want to be made fun of for intentionally hurting myself, and that was the only outcome that I could foresee. if I were honest and therefore vulnerable. Which is kind of funny to me. It's a little like, in a way it's ironic. In a way it completely fucking makes sense. Because now I am so driven to be excruciatingly honest with myself and just in the world, like how I show up and everything. And, but, like, most of my life depended on balancing the lies. Because the only way that I could be protected it was if I was, like, far and away behind all the lies that I had to keep straight so that I wouldn't get... Because I decided early on as a child, with the way my mom was, she's just, like, very, very blaming, very abusive, very mentally unstable. But something that I decided early on as a kid was that I would rather make up a lie when I'm about to be in trouble for something. I would rather make up a lie and get in trouble for something that didn't actually happen, because what was gonna happen regardless was that I was gonna be in trouble and I was gonna be punished. And so it was better, in my mind, to make up a lie. And it was the only, like, sense of agency that I had in some situations. It felt like, was, what do I want her to believe about me? What, like, because I wasn't ever willing to be, anytime that I was honest, then I ran the risk of whatever I exposed that was vulnerable was going to be fair game to weaponize and to use to hurt me when she wanted to do that, And, or if I made a dumb mistake, then it was going to keep getting mentioned. Shit like that. So I'd rather make up something that it's like I didn't actually have anything to do with. Because then I can only care so much if someone keeps nagging me about it, But, and it's just like, it was a way to have some privacy. So I lied about a lot growing up, like, just to my mom. And it was always centered around punishment, but anyway. So she asked about stuff, and when I was doing stuff, and I told a pretty dumb lie, and she chose to accept it and told me that I need to be more careful. And in my mind, that was a success. Because I didn't rat myself out for what I was doing, and I didn't get made fun of for... It's like, if you're doing that... Because I remembered starting that, because I remember where I was living, what the situation was, where we had just come from. Because my mom had been married for like a year or less, and then divorced, and then we moved out of town for the first time in my childhood. We moved out of town to a neighboring town with family that I didn't really know. And honestly, that was a really good time, because She might have been an alcoholic, but like my aunt like treated me well, and I wasn't used to it, and I really liked it. But she ended up getting drunk and throwing us out, like at night in the winter, and my sister had to come get us. Um, but, but yeah, it's just like, and that's kind of it helped me remember kind of a similar arc to how I stress manage now, especially when I'm at work or just anytime that I'm in like a more intense situation that's gonna take a while. Like I need breathers, I need breaks, I need to step away. I need to do something that gets me back to center, and so I'm not just like all like fucking frazzled and can keep a firm sense of myself. And unfortunately, when I was 12 years old, it involved blood. And mm. and so it's like that's who I was when I was 12 years old. Like, and it's just like I could only relate to that because that's what my life was. And I'm still learning to take a step back and be able to think about stuff like that, and then try to put it into context of like, what do 12-year-olds usually look like? And like thinking about like, what if they were going home and like, you know, barely surviving their own anxiety and depression um, in unsafe home environments. So yeah, but I'm really glad I'm here now. I was thinking about it. I'm pretty sure it's been like 13 years since the last time I did anything like that, and it'd been it had been a few years before that time, because there was just like a breakup that I didn't handle well when I was like 23. But so consider all that and then come back to here and now where like I definitely make decisions to protect myself, and to avoid vulnerability where it's smart to avoid vulnerability because I fucking know how to do that. Um, but I'm also someone who's just so determined to be sincere and authentic. And there's a lot of love there. And whoever you are, wherever you are, you should take more full breaths. I know I'm really bad about not noticing when I'm breathing really shallow, but my body notices. And if my body thinks that we need to be in panic mode, it'll start affecting my mind too. That's how it works. I'm still getting used to how it feels in my body and my torso to take a full breath. Alright, take care of yourselves. Remember your story.